What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We're about to get into a great episode. We got Lisa Rinna on today's podcast, which we are obsessed with. But first, Chicks in the Office is presented by Microsoft Copilot. Before we get into the rest of today's episode, we need to talk about the thing that is keeping everyone's lives organized right now, and that is Microsoft 365 Copilot.
Absolutely, because the world moves faster, workday even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for Word, Excel, PowerPoint. It's built into it all, so it's so easy. And other Microsoft 365 apps that you use, helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize so you can cut through the clutter and clear the path to your best work. There's a lot of people wanting to get outside, maybe enjoy some snow or not enjoy the snow, whatever it is, but work can be a little crazy around these times. Microsoft Copilot has you covered to help you really be the most efficient.
That's exactly right. And you can learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot. We have a fun episode for everybody today.
Pumped for Lisa Rinna.
So pumped.
Sad it wasn't in person. It was supposed to be in person, but the snow really screwed everything up. So she had to call in virtually and still got some great stuff from her.
As always, a good 45 minutes with Lisa Rinna is
best.
what we needed. But it was supposed to be in person, which is unfortunate, obviously.
I know, because I'm just like dying to meet her and hang out with her.
I know. I really thought we would have had a powwow. But
yeah, like why do I just think she'd be like, look at us and be like, you guys are like my daughters.
Yeah, and I
be like, oh, Amelia, Delilah?
Yeah. Or film TikToks dancing with her, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately didn't get to happen,
I know.
but still a great episode.
Yeah.
We do not have an episode on Friday. We are headed to the beach.
We are. I did want to add one more
vacay.
I did want to add one more thing about Lisa Rinna, because very much in the news the last day, she allegedly got what she thinks is drugged at the Abbey at the premiere party for Traitors. I'm just wanted to clarify because the news came out before. The news came out after we interviewed her. So we didn't get to ask about that.
No,
because
we
I think that
didn't.
was important to say because I know people are probably really curious about what exactly happened there because that story was being posted everywhere Tuesday night. But we spoke to her earlier on Tuesday, on Monday. What day is it? It's Tuesday on Monday.
Yes,
that story came out Monday night. We spoke to her earlier on Monday.
Yes, and we didn't get a chance to ask her about it, but it's a crazy story.
Crazy.
But yeah, that came out after our interview.
Yep.
So didn't get to talk about that. But yeah, this is our last episode of the week.
Yes.
We won't have an episode Friday, and then we'll be back on Monday, and then Charlotte show is Tuesday night, so we're headed to Charlotte on Monday after we record our episode, and we announced that we have Molly and Sally from Southern Charm joining us, and which way you feel, you know you're going to get some good shit on stage from these two, which is always going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
And we're going to be, having
We're going to have so much fun with them,
show.
I think. They're going to be a blast.
And it's going to just be some good old gossip on that stage.
Hell yeah.
So if you haven't gotten tickets yet, the tickets are on sale. And then we're just hitting the,
back on the road, honey.
Hitting the ground running after that. And we're back on the road and got a lot of fun shows planned after that. We'll be announcing more guests. I'm very excited about the guests for this leg of this tour. I think we got some really good ones, some really fun ones. So they're going to be great shows. So check out the tickets. They're on sale.
Pumped.
Online. How are we feeling?
I'm good. I'm ready to get the hell out of here. It's I know how much I hyped up being excited for the snow, but it's like a one day thing. It's like, you're so excited for the snow when it's gorgeous. It's like you woke up. I actually saw Sarah Jessica Parker talking about how she like Andy called her on Watch What Happens Live. She was like, I couldn't sleep. I was up at like 5:15. I just wanted to see how much it snowed. Like that's the excitement.
Yeah.
And then the next day when you're like slipping into giant puddles of sludge on the street, not as fun. I will say, New York City did it pretty clear, pretty fast.
It doesn't even look like it's snowing.
For as much snow as we got, like I sent some pictures to my mom. She was like, "Oh my god, it doesn't even look like it snowed that much." I was like, "We got a foot and a half, and they cleared a lot really quickly."
But I feel like something about this snow is different because the storm we got like last month was way worse, like aftermath.
Because it was so cold.
Yeah, it was so cold for so long, and that
or maybe they learned from their mistakes.
It was like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like everybody needs a dress rehearsal. Like that was like. that was like, oh, big storm, here it comes. And then you handle it and then you're like, oh, we fucked it up last time, so let's make sure we don't do it this time.
Right.
It feels like they definitely, I was shocked. Like even walking around Monday, like after the storm had, after it stopped, and I was pretty impressed with how things were cleared up. But it was magical walking through some of the New York parks and all the snow.
The snowmen.
Yeah. So many snowmen. Everybody was out here making a snowman. I saw some ginormous snowmen.
Yeah, they were putting in the work.
They really,
some pretty big
really were.
snowmen.
Some pretty big snowmen were out there. But now that I've enjoyed the one day, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to go on vacation.
Yeah, we're gonna have a nice time.
Yeah,
We're excited to do that.
Noah, how you doing over there?
Great.
Good. Just checking in.
Nothing really
new
to
to report
I'm trying to think.
In the last day that we spoke.
Yeah, since yesterday. No.
Okay, good. Just checking in. Rhea, I know you're excited for vacation.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be on vacation together, a little couples trip. We had a great time last year, so we're running it back.
Yeah.
And, we're just going to be swimming, dipping our toes.
Yeah. We'll see how I feel because, you're getting a spray tan tonight and I am not. And
we discussed this.
You told me.
I gave you a
warned me.
big
You gave me a
warning.
big fair warning. And I just don't have it in me. Like, when you I just don't have it in
I
me.
100% get what you're saying because partially I don't have it in me.
Yeah.
Like I really don't want to get bare ass naked and get a spray tan in the cold. I tried on my bathing suits last night. I looked in the mirror, I jumped. I said, holy shit. I was scared of myself, and I'm probably being hard on myself like usual.
Yeah.
But I just thought, you know what? Just go get.
You're like, I'm translucent.
I just was like, you could see everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I felt that way. I got a couple of new dresses that I was really excited for, and I tried them on last night, and I was like, I know I'm just pale and I don't actually hate these dresses, but my God, I'm gonna have to save them for towards the end of the week because I need a little bit before I put these dresses on.
well, you're ending up like not in a good spot when you start going down like the path of like, should I get lipo on my arms, which is the path I went down last night where I tried on my bathing suits, tried on the dresses, and it's just like a downward spiral of like, you're in the dead of the winter, the winter uglies are hitting you, you haven't seen the sun since September, and then you go down a rabbit hole of, should I get lipo on my arms? Woke up today and said, no, Maria, we're gonna love our arms.
Hey, I'm glad you came to that conclusion, but I would support you with that.
I was texting you last night.
You were texting me about it. I would support you with whatever conclusion you came to.
I know.
If you were like, look, I actually really think that this is gonna make me happy, I said, go for it. That's it's something that it's like
for years of my life I've thought about this.
And it's something that I know you have. If it's something that just like popped out of nowhere and all of a sudden like without like it was something that I haven't heard before and you're like, you know what, I'm doing this, I'd be like, whoa, slow your roll. But I know it's something
since
that you
I became
have
a teen,
this
is something I've thought about. And everybody has those things about themselves, right? That you just like think about and you sometimes love and then sometimes you hate. And I go back and forth on this where like sometimes I'm like, I love my arms, I love myself, I love this, I'm gonna own it all. And then I go down a path of in the middle of the winter, I'm like, oh my God, get it out of me.
I do it with my hip dips. Like I have pretty prominent hip dips. And there's really not much you can do for it besides like legitimate surgery. Like it's not an easy procedure. It's like really going under the knife.
They take the fat out of somewhere else and then put it in,
which is just like
a crazy. We could take the fat out of my arms and put it into your
my
hips.
hip dips. That would be amazing.
We'll do a 2 for 1.
Wow.
We'll do a fat transfer.
That would be amazing.
Because I just have this stub. Like, listen, I love the definition that I get to see in my arms from like all the strength training that I do. Yeah. And I lift multiple times a week and I fucking love it. And I love feeling so strong. I really do. Like, I find it to be so empowering. And then obviously you just have those things that you can love, but at some points you get down. And I just have this stubbornness in my arms that I've just been this way for. It's just how I'm built. But now that we can take from my arms
and put it into
your hips.
Easy solution. I feel the same way because like I think my legs, like I've never felt stronger, which is great. But in building up those muscles, it becomes more prominent. Like it's like sort of a thing. Like And there's every which way believe me, I looked it up. Things to do to help your hip dips. Like, there's really nothing. Like, you can't you can't work out to build fat in that area, and then the muscle doesn't just like magically appear in that spot.
Isn't it crazy though, the things you notice on yourself, like no one else would notice? Like,
no,
I would
it's
literally
crazy.
never notice that on you.
But let me tell you something, it's because of the one person. Like, we live in this world, it's like the one person that you hold on to, it's the one comment that you hold on to and you think about for the rest of your life. Like, I wore a long sweater dress one time to a Christmas party that hugged like my hips. I got one comment that said I look like a frog, and I said, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget it.
Isn't that so fucked up? Like, it just lives with you forever. I hate it. And this is why, this just goes back to the stupid men on the internet, because
I know.
Like, that's like when, I don't want to bring it up, but it's like, oh, Rhea's so fat all the time, obviously that sticks with you. And then that's why a couple of weeks ago I went on that whole rant where it's just like, leave me alone. I fluctuate, like, goodness gracious. And like, why do we have to make these comments? Because it's like, when you get everyone calling you fucking ginormous,
I know,
it sticks with you.
And here's the thing, because you're not, which is what you have to deal with, in the fact that it's like these options are available to do, but what breaks my heart is when I see people who are doing it so clearly because of outside noise, and that's what you like. That's what you have to deal with, because that's where you have to come to terms. Because if you come to terms with the fact that, like, this is actually something I really want to do. I don't care what other people say. It's going to make me feel better when I look at myself, and not like I'm doing this because it'll silence people who are saying they think my arms look too big.
Absolutely, because no matter what, people will say something. Yeah. And I have gotten so much better, like, with not caring what people say, like, in the last couple of years, like, just, I would say within the last 2 years, like, so much better at that. But my arms has just been a thing my whole life, like, something I've always thought about.
Women just don't have to deal with all the shit.
We do, and we talk about this, like, not to get into a deeper discussion, but it is a very real discussion. Do I deal with body dysmorphia? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You do.
I do, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. And I say that lovingly, not
you
like
do.
you do.
No, I know that you say it lovingly, because it's something that we talk about off camera.
Yeah.
But I am working on it, and and all that good stuff, which sometimes we just have to work on these things. And that's why today I'm saying, like, when I'm working on it, it's like waking up and going, you know what? Last night I went down a rabbit hole. Woke up this morning and said, you know what? I love these things.
It's so fine to go down the rabbit hole, then you just come back up.
Yeah, and I came back up today.
You just got to come back up for air.
Exactly.
Sometimes you get trapped down there for a little bit. You just got to come back up for air.
You come back up and you're like, okay.
I found that's the case with a lot of things.
Yes.
Get trapped. You got to remember, come back up for air.
Yeah.
It's important.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, let's get into, you know what? It was nice. We had like a serious discussion there that was actually kind of lighthearted.
Yeah. Yes.
Because we have to laugh about these things, or else we'll cry.
Yeah, or else it gets too serious, and it's like, we're not.
And it's all it is to be taken seriously.
It is, because it is a major thing that plagues women nonstop, and especially right now, because I think we're back in this era of like really skinny forward, like every, it's very prominent again. It feels like, so it is important to discuss.
It is important to discuss, but also we can laugh with each other and make each other feel better.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks for lending me your arms.
Yes, and you know what?
To give me some juicy.
Yeah, I'm gonna juice your hips up with my arms. That's just a hilarious visual of us walking down the beach.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, shit. All right, let's get into the rest of the show. Like we mentioned, we do have a great interview with Lisa Rinna. We also have Pop Corner, and we're going to be talking about the Met Gala announced its theme for this year. Lily Collins cast as Audrey Hepburn, Phoebe Dynevor cast in Beach Read, and Harry Styles will be performing and hosting Saturday Night Live March 14th. So let's get into it.
We are so excited to have our hands on the Pepsi Prebiotic Soda. It is so delicious. It comes in 2 flavors, the original cola and the cherry vanilla. I have the cherry vanilla. It is so delicious. It has that great Pepsi taste, but now with even more to love, with no artificial sweeteners, only 5 grams of sugar, just 30 calories, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. It's unbelievably Pepsi. I will say I have been really craving soda recently. Like I've just been getting that itch where it comes to be a part of the day. I'm like, ooh, I'm craving a little soda, a little cola, something delicious. Well, now I can turn to Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. I love the cherry vanilla, little sweetness. It's delicious. And the fact that it only has 5 grams of sugar, no artificial sweeteners is so great, and 30 calories. And you get that prebiotic fiber. It's amazing. If you guys haven't tried it yet, you got to try it. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola is available now, so go try it today.
Met Gala theme was announced, and it is called Fashion is Art.
Doesn't it almost make you think, and I don't know if it's because Lisa Rinna is on this podcast, and now I'm just like in that mindset. But when I saw this, I was like, fashion is art, baby. Like I was like, it needed like just, felt like it almost needed a little baby at the end. Mm-hmm. Fashion is art, honey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just
Hollywood babes.
It's like the theme, dress code is fashion is art, honey.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like that's exactly how it should be said. They should have wrote that in the graphics. We should have wrote it in our graphics.
Yep.
But this theme, very straightforward for me.
Yeah, it is.
I think
it feels back at, feels very campy once again, like we've had that before, where people really go all out. I think we're going to have some crazy, crazy things on this carpet because fashion is, you're going to have really, really detailed pieces of artwork. And to me, that can be anything from super, super extravagant, really crazy out of the box stuff to just like beautiful, beautiful, delicate pieces, or like just like intricate beading, like something that just has like a bodice that, you're going to hear about somebody who's has a corset bodice with a beading or a stitching that took 1 million hours to make, and 1 million beads were hand sewn into it and all these things, and it'll be stunning.
Yeah, I feel like this is the most open to interpretation that you can get with a Met Gala theme because
art is open.
Yeah, art is truly your own interpretation of whatever the fuck you want it to be. Yep. And that's what we're going to get here. I bet we're going to get some. And here's the thing. This is the theme. You better go extra. I don't want to see
no black dresses.
A simple black dress.
I don't want to see a simple black dress.
Hailey Bieber.
Yeah.
If you show up in a simple black dress, I'm going to be pissed.
I feel like the most she would do is some crazy like beading or something. Do it.
And like you said with the bodice, like I could see really like sculpted, looking like a statue of really some sort.
Like really interesting shapes. Like I feel like you could really play with the shape and not just have like a very traditional silhouette. Maybe do like a little bit of a different silhouette.
Now, it feels like this theme maybe came a little bit later than
No, the theme has been out for a while. The theme is like costume.
Yes.
Like the theme's like costume art, costume. Yes. What that's like the real
right, because we did talk about this. I'm like, wait,
we did. It's the full name.
Dress code. Fashion is art. Sorry,
that's why I'm like, fashion is art, honey. That's the dress code.
That's the dress code.
Here, Anna Winter saying myself.
They've been working on this for quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think I don't know I forget what the whole official name of the exhibit is. But definitely something around costume.
Mm-hmm, definitely, because it was like, oh, we're going to get some funky stuff. Fashion is art makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Absolutely.
Very excited about this. Moving on, we got some casting news. So sorry, Ariana Grande. Lily Collins has stepped in for the role of Audrey Hepburn for Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah.
I totally see it. I feel like this is like
it's
such
a comparison that's been made forever.
It's such a good casting.
Yeah.
I really do want to know if Ariana Grande was in the talks about this. Like, I know that there was a lot of conversation about her kind of going for the role.
Maybe I just missed it. I didn't really see any of this. Did Ariana say she wanted to play Audrey Hepburn?
People thought that she was dressing like Audrey Hepburn and trying to get the role.
Okay,
remember? Like it was like, she's putting in this whole Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah. She's like, she's
and style.
A lot. I remember now. Like a lot of carpet. She was walking out. People were like, "It's giving Audrey Hepburn." Mm-hmm. I gotcha. Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I wonder if she was even in talks or if that was just an internet thing.
It could have been. I think people would have loved to see that too. But you can go crazy with this. And of course, they could do something out of the box. But it's just like, if you're going to cast somebody as Audrey Hepburn, I think Lily Collins has probably had the most comparisons her entire career all the time. I feel like even when I see photos of her from Emily in Paris or paparazzi photos with her or pictures of her when she was young, and everybody always comments like, "Oh my God, she looks just like Audrey Hepburn."
Yeah, that is a common theme. So I feel like this fits. Like
It totally
it's just
does.
like a congratulations because
It totally does. Everything about her just makes sense to me, and that like not only are the looks there, but just their like all around aura is there too. I think.
I agree. And then on top of that, you were talking about that.
Yes.
I have not read Beach Read.
Yes.
You have an Emily Henry book that is being adapted into a movie.
Yes.
And Phoebe Dynevor got the lead.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. I think she is perfect for this role. I know so far we're knocking it out of the park, I think, for Emily Henry adaptations for castings. Because I thought People We Meet on Vacation was great. And the casting, especially her, was so perfect. And I think this also makes so much sense. I really, really love this. I think she's going to crush it. Kind of like a perfect person who I envision. I think casting. Oh God, I'm going to space on his name. So forgive me. But I'm her romance, her partner in crime here in this. Like. Is I think a little bit harder to cast because right now they've crushed the female castings.
Gus.
Yes, Gus. I think Gus could be a little trickier.
The brooding literary neighbor.
Yeah, anytime like you get kind of like that shy guy, I find it to be like, ooh, who's really gonna nail the shy guy look? Because there's so many guys in Hollywood that are just so goddamn handsome, and you're like, you're not shy. But I think they'll find someone great for this too. But Phoebe's a perfect casting, so I'm excited for that. And tune in on Thursday for our final review of The Last Letter on the
Yes.
Same Page Book Club. That'll be coming out on Thursday.
And we do a casting of The Last Letter.
Yes.
So if you're listening and you want to take our casting recommendations,
Yep.
tune in on Thursday. And then last topic, just excitement here. Harry Styles will be hosting and performing for Saturday Night Live on March 14th. Now I'm thinking to myself, we getting another single before this?
The whole album's out by then, no?
It is March 13th?
Isn't the
Yeah,
album
March
out
6th.
March 6th?
March 6th. Okay.
March 6th, you silly goose.
Oh my God. Next week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got all flustered in my brain. I thought it was the end of March.
No.
I don't know why I had
Beginning of March.
But I had the end of March in my head.
That's so fair. So you were thinking, oh, he's going on SNL and all he's got is
Oh
Aperture?
my, yes, but wow. No, first of
No,
all,
the whole album.
terrible Harry Styles fan by me, openly admitting that.
Yeah.
But even better for me now that it's coming way
What a
sooner.
pleasant surprise.
What a pleasant surprise. In my head, I just been telling myself end of March for some
Yeah,
reason. Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, next week.
Quite literally next week.
Oh my God, what a thrill.
Yeah. So then he'll be on SNL
To perform his best songs.
that we all have already heard because then it'll be out.
I'm like, he's just going to perform Aperture?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, I'm
you
an
guys gonna
idiot.
try to speak into existence you going to that SNL?
We can't. We have a show.
We won't be here.
Damn.
Yes.
Believe me, I saw the date and went, ah! I went like this, ah!
Yeah, no, I had the same
Where are we gonna
reaction.
be?
San Diego,
Diego.
baby.
You knew that.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I just,
Yeah.
And then the Oscars are the night after that.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. So
Well, listen, come pregame Harry Styles SNL with us
Yeah.
at our San Diego show because it's going to be a freaking fun
Oh,
one.
but won't that be nice? We can cuddle up in the hotel and
And
watch.
watch. Yeah, that'll be fun.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, that'll be really nice.
Because I do think watching SNL is always fun with a buddy.
And the last time we watched SNL together,
Was
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
Which was
He really pulls
years
us in.
ago.
It really pulls you in.
Which
but
was
no,
2019.
to get musical guests and hosts, I think is so great, and he really is so funny. So he'll crush it, of
Yeah.
course.
We know you will, Harry.
Yeah.
You're going to
Yeah.
be dynamite.
Yep.
All right, that wraps up the topics. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage with constant innovation. It's how you unlock amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's so simple to use. The Game Time guarantee means you get 100% authentic tickets on time at the best price, no surprises. Fees are included in the price you see, so what you see is what you pay, period. I love that. I love that everything's included, so what you see is what you are paying. No hidden fees there. And now there are so many amazing concerts that are right around the corner. We got Hilary Duff, Harry Styles, details. We are checking out the tickets for all of these on Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to every type of event with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHICKS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHICKS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. All right, let's get into the pop corner where we're taking your hot takes, your voicemails, your opinions. Let's get into it. Noah, play the first voicemail.
Hi, Rhea and Fran and Noah. First of all, please come back to Atlanta. I love you guys. Love your podcast. Listen to it religiously. I have a theory, and maybe I'm stating the obvious, or maybe I'm a genius. I don't really know. I just haven't seen anyone else say this, but I'm like 99% sure that the Alex Cooper Hannah Montana thing is going to be like a fictional episode of Call Her Daddy or whatever. And I think that Miley Cyrus is going to be Hannah Montana. Okay, maybe everyone already knows this and I just didn't get the memo, but I just really feel like that's going to happen. And especially because in the promo, it shows Hannah Montana's car pulling up. It shows a boot stomping on the ground that was very reminiscent of a Hannah Montana vibe, not really a Miley Cyrus vibe. And so I do feel like it's going to be kind of like similar to like an episode of Jimmy Fallon where she does the interview as Hannah / Miley Stewart with Alex Cooper and then does like a performance. And maybe I'm just holding out hope that it's more than a Call Her Daddy episode, you know, but that's my opinion and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. But yeah. Bye-bye.
I like the idea. I don't think that's happening.
I like the idea. And I
like
also
the idea.
love...
It's just, I don't think... they were pretty clear in the Disney press release, like what was happening.
I also love that you said, and then Miley Cyrus will be playing Hannah Montana.
Yeah. So again, Miley will be playing Hannah.
I would hope Miley Cyrus is playing Hannah Montana. But no, I get what you're saying. I think that might be fun. Like maybe that'll be partial. Like maybe they'll do a fun little sketch type thing where she's interviewed as Hannah Montana, but then like maybe cut in between, but then like the real interview is with Miley Cyrus. Like I could see them doing some sort of like skit or sketch like that. But I don't think it would be the full thing.
I don't think it would be the full thing either, because then you're not getting Miley Cyrus's opinion on anything.
Yeah, you're not getting like the real behind the scenes.
Yeah, like you're not getting the real behind the scenes. But it's possible.
I could totally see just a little bit of it though, being like a little skit.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
But I just feel like from what we read in the Disney press release that that's just not, it was like Miley will sit down and it felt pretty detailed.
It did, but I feel like there's going to be more than what they just put in the press release because it wouldn't be just like,
well, I think she's definitely singing. Like I think that's for sure part of it.
I mean, we've seen her with the wig on.
The wig is on. We saw the pictures.
Thank God.
So definitely part of it. And I could see also why that would make you think like, oh, she's being Hannah for most of this event. Mm-hmm. But I like that idea that it's probably that maybe they could do like some sort of sketch.
Yeah, something mixed in. What's the difference between a skit and a sketch?
I think they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
Can we look up the definition difference of skit and sketch? Because I have been using them interchangeably, but I've always used them interchangeably.
While often used interchangeably in casual conversation to describe short comedy scenes, sketches and skits have distinct definitions within the comedy industry. Generally, a sketch is considered a more crafted, narrative-driven scene, while a skit is often defined as a single dramatized joke or a more amateur, informal performance.
Okay, so the same thing.
So still sounds like the exact same thing.
So it's the same. So it's the same thing to me.
What do you like? What do you think sounds cooler? I feel like sketch.
From that makes it sound like a sketch is more like planned out.
If you're trying to be official, I think you would say, "Oh, that was a good sketch." But
like
really,
SNL, they're like sketches.
Yeah, like let's do a little skit.
Yeah,
you know, that's how I've used it.
Skit is a little riff.
Yeah, let's do a little skit right now.
Yeah. That's
All
our
right.
definition.
Yeah. We just broke it down for everybody.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch regardless. But if the whole thing is like dramatized, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, Rhea, Fran, and Noah. This is Brooke from Texas. I'm wondering, I am so jealous of Fran getting to go see Hilary Duff in concert. And I have like this delusion, I guess, now that I've been like a Taylor Swift fan and a Jonas Brothers fan, that like Hilary Duff is going to bring out like a guest on stage when she goes on tour, or like have some sort of duet on her new album. And so I was kind of wondering, like, who would you guys want Hilary Duff to do a duet with? My millennial heart would love if like she could bury the hatchet with, say, Lindsay Lohan and like do some sort of duet with her. I feel like that's probably like so far-fetched, but I think that would be really cool. But yeah, who would you like to have her sing with?
Good question. So the album's out and there's no like features or anything. So that's not like, it's not like she'd do a song with somebody that's already on there. But I'd go anybody in the Disney, that Disney era. Perhaps the Cheetah Girls reunite on stage with Hilary Duff.
You took the words right out of my damn mouth. As soon as this question was asked, Cheetah Girls hit my brain.
Yeah.
Now, I love the idea of Lindsay Lohan. I think that's so fun. And around that same time and era, and like Lindsay Lohan had her album come out. But I do think like a Cheetah Girls reunion on stage. Obviously, we're thinking Disney right away. I mean, Demi Lovato's going back on tour, and I know that they were like, they sort of missed each other, right? It was like Lizzie McGuire was leaving as like that new wave of Disney was coming in. But maybe if they collabed of some sorts on stage, because they're both now touring, that could be fun. Like, oh, you come pop onto one of my shows, I'll pop onto one of yours, that whole thing.
That definitely
Demi
would be.
did put on her story yesterday, like, what kind of deep cuts and throwbacks you want to see, which is like, yes, Demi, yes.
Which,
you
let me
know
tell you,
what the people want.
I almost like replied to with a list of 15 songs. Like I didn't, because I was like, she could actually see this.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like kind of embarrassed. But if it was just going into the internet, like just into the ethernet, and no one was going to see it, like I have a list.
Yeah. Don't forget
And it's
La La
extensive.
Land. These aren't deep cuts. They're just throwbacks.
No.
That we want to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I could, there's some like, oh, here we go again. Like there's just some ones that she's gotta pull back out. I hope she does. But that would be a good one. I wonder if Hilary will do any sort of surprise like that. I feel like maybe she'll have.
Maybe JoJo.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one.
I feel like JoJo would be fun.
Yeah, and JoJo did like, I think multiple Jonas Brothers
Yeah.
spots.
Jesse McCartney.
Jesse McCartney.
He's back out there.
Did she announce who's opening on her tour? Noah, can you search that? I think she may have. But if not, maybe there's a way to tie that in where the openers are also sort of that like millennial throwback. Here's a question for you. I saw people debating this on TikTok.
Yes, hit me.
Is Hannah Montana a show for millennial? Was it a show for millennials or for Gen Z? Because Gen Z was on TikTok being like, back off millennials. Hannah Montana was a Gen Z show. Like this girl went crazy viral being like, it's Gen Z.
I don't believe it to be a Gen Z show, but
I think it's pretty mixed.
But here's the question. Now, I was born in 1997.
Yeah, you're on the cusp.
So I'm
You're
on the cusp. I think I relate more to millennials.
But you have some Gen Z qualities.
But I do have some Gen Z.
It's mixed.
So it is sort of mixed.
Yeah. But like this
And so
girl
now
was
I'm
like,
kind of torn. I think it's a mix. I don't think
I think it's a mix,
there's not
too.
one sole ownership there. Because I think it was like Hannah Montana was, I think I was the perfect age for Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
When did Hannah Montana end?
2010, I believe.
Yeah. When did it come?
2011 is when the series
2011,
finale
and it
happened.
started when?
2006, March
Yeah.
2006.
Yeah, so 2011, I was graduating 8th grade. So that was like perfect ending, like Hannah Montana's
But
ending.
I think you got to like think like when it started. So like this girl was like, I was 7 years old when it started, and I was like, it's a little young.
I think 7's a little too young.
But
But she was like, I'm perfect. It was on when I was 7 to 12, and I'm like, okay, but that's when I think that's like when it started for you.
So I was 7? I feel like I was.
Oh no. Well,
I get.
yeah, like
2006.
you
What
were
age was I in 2006? No, I was
9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a little
That's a good start.
Yeah, I
'Cause
feel
I'm
like
thinking,
9
like-
years old.
Because you were 12, so it's like,
Yeah.
that was a good time, but then you're like aged out.
Well,
like,
I
kind
just
of
think it's
quickly.
kind of in the because it's not because I was obsessed with it.
No, I know, but like.
But I
just-
think it's like 92, like people that were born between the ages of like 1991, 92, and like 2002.
Well, no, my sister did not watch Hannah Montana, and she was born in 1992.
Yeah, but I think your sister's like an exception. Like I know a lot of girls like a little bit older than that watched Hannah Montana for sure. But I think like
my sister was just like making fun of me for liking all these shows.
But I think my age was probably like on the older side. I mean, 2006, I was in 6th grade. And and if you're really to get critical here, like she's at that age when she's on the show. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right, she's like starting 9th grade,
yeah,
right?
like it's not crazy that you're like, oh, well, she is in high school in the show. Oh my God, so crazy. High school kids don't watch the show. She's in high school in the fucking show.
So true. That's really a good point.
And I'm like, not that they had crazy grown-up storylines, but I was like, 7 feels
a little young. And that's why I'd like to say I was the best age at
I think that
a whopping 9
Yeah, I think that's
old.
a good age. But I thought that was very interesting because it is, I think it plays to both. Like, I think there's a lot of millennial traits, and Miley herself is a millennial, so
yeah.
But yeah,
quite a debate. Why can't we share?
I know. Well, that's what I thought.
Why do people have to like? We own this. Like
I know. Well, that's why it felt like
share?
a little abrasive. She was like, "All you millennials that think this show is for you, it's not. It was for Gen Z." It was like, okay, well, it was also for millennials.
Yeah, like chill out.
Yeah.
Let's just share. Why don't we?
Exactly. Okay, let's do another one.
Picture this. It's Monday morning, you open up your laptop, and Outlook hits you with 87 unread emails. Your calendar now looks like a game of Tetris. Your boss wants a report, your team wants a presentation, and you just want to take a nap. Enter Microsoft Copilot. Copilot summarizes your emails and boom, you're caught up. So maybe that snowy Monday got you all caught behind and now you want to catch up, and you could do that with Copilot. It drafts your report in Word, it builds your slides in PowerPoint, it even pulls insights from your Excel data. Suddenly, you're the office hero, you're responsible and organized, all because Copilot did the stuff you didn't want to. So if you want to reclaim your time and get your life together, try Microsoft Copilot. Copilot, because sometimes the smartest move is letting AI do the work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Hey, Rhea, Fran, and Noah. So I wanted to know y'all's opinion on Tara and Johnny making it this far on the Traitors. So obviously them being on Traitors this season was a good cross-promotional effort with them having the Olympics this year and it all being on NBC and Peacock. But I just find it almost to be too good to be true, or just a really weird coincidence that they've made it this far and all the way through Olympics coverage. I've never really thought of the Traitors being a show that had a lot of producer manipulation or influence, but I don't know. I just find it maybe a little suspicious that they have made it all the way through the Olympics, and I don't know. I'd love to hear y'all's take on it. And if you think that maybe the producers had a hand in them making it this far. But yeah, thank you. Love y'all.
Maybe I'm being naive.
Yeah.
But I actually don't. I think that they're just two very likable people.
Yeah.
And that's why they're around for a long time. Like, I honestly don't think it has anything like. Maybe I am being naive, but I really don't. Like, I like in
honest,
my heart of hearts, I do not believe there was any
either.
producer infiltration on who's staying around longest. Like, I think they're just likable people.
Yeah, and I also think that not to like, I don't know, it's not really giving anything away, but I don't know. We've just had conversations with people that have been on this show, and on and off camera, no one's ever made us think that there was that much involvement production side. Like in terms of storylines and keeping people on and things like that. Because I think realistically, there's people that they would have wanted to keep for longer or shorter. Like there's the same people, like the people that get home that are sent home so early, you know, objectively, production would want them to stay later because a lot of them make for great TV or they're great gamers and things like that. So I don't really think they stay involved in that. I just think Johnny and Tara were also like gloriously bad at this game. And it's just like they made it to the end because the Traitors were like, well, they don't suspect us at all.
Right.
So it benefits us to keep them around because they just keep throwing names out willy-nilly and no one knows.
So true. That's totally an aspect of it. Like, they're just not good at the game, so it's easy to have them around. They've also made friends really easily with people. Yeah. And obviously, everyone in the show is likable and has redeemable qualities that they make friends with people and people get attached to them and they end up going home. So that's not the sole reason, but I think there's a lot of layers to it, and I don't think it's production infiltration. I think we're by now, a couple seasons in, we would have heard about some sort of producers keeping people around or anything, and that's never been the conversation with Traitors. It's actually quite the opposite, the conversation with Traitors. I mean, even when Mark was here, he was like, no, they do a good job of really like keeping you in it. So but it did work out to their benefit.
Yeah. And them like not keeping their friendship as out in the open was probably a big factor. We saw Candace definitely protected Johnny. They were so close. So that was a big one. And in tandem, I think they were always going to protect each other. So it's like Candace is protecting Johnny, which is going to protect Tara. So it's like, I don't know, they were able to make it to the end off that fact. Let's do one more.
Hey, Rhea and Fran. This is Emma. And my hot take is that the new Vanderpump Rules is actually really good, but their mistake might have been as trying to rebrand Vanderpump Rules instead of doing something like Southern Hospitality, where they recasted or they got a whole new cast and a whole new show. But the VPR is actually really good. It doesn't have anything that's super heavy. I feel like we're watching Summer House and Southern Charm right now. Some of the stuff is so heavy, it's like divorce and all that crap. And I just want something light and funny. And the new Vanderpump has that. They have people who have nothing to lose. They have awful singing careers they're trying to kickstart. There's two cousins who do OnlyFans together. There's just the dumbest, pettiest girl drama, and it's really actually entertaining to watch. You just have to get into it a little bit. The first couple episodes aren't great, but once Angelica gets there, I promise you guys, if you can just get through it, it's so good, and I really think you guys should try. Okay, let me know how you think of it. Bye.
Maybe I have to jump back into it because I definitely watched maybe the first 4 or 5 episodes and then stopped just because I was like, I don't, there's been so much good TV on. I'm like, this is not a priority right now.
Right.
But maybe it will slip back in. I have seen people saying they love it. Perhaps it's kind of like a Wuthering Heights situation where it's like they could have benefited from just naming it something completely different. Like, because no matter what, keeping it Vanderpump Rules is going to make comparisons to the old cast and the old drama and everything that happened. And it's like, if they just, I don't know, named it with something with Sir, I don't know, like just like kind of change it up, perhaps people would think differently of it, because with the same name, you are always just thinking of the previous cast. Which is why, like with the Valley, yes, there are so many new people on that too, but now like Lala's on it, Schwartz is on it, like they have such a Vanderpump crossover, but there's no Vanderpump anything in the name that makes you think like, oh, they'd be on this show, which is helpful.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it's the comparison factor that you're always going to have.
It just got renewed for a second season. So like they're in, like it's, I saw that Bravo announced that that's a lock. So
I caught a couple episodes on the plane and I was like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah.
But I think if I caught it and it wasn't under the name of Vanderpump, I'd be like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah, right,
there's a different tune.
Absolutely. I think if that really is such an important factor. And also now knowing that it did get a second season does make me want to go back into it a little bit, because I'm like, okay, well, people are clearly liking it enough that it's going to get a second season and they have confidence that it could be a good show. I felt that way about Southern Hospitality. I really didn't like the first season at all. And it wasn't until later that I was like, okay, this is getting good.
I remember.
And now it picked up speed, and Bravo was all talking about that too. They were like, no, it's like second, third season shows picking up more, which I think is so true. So
they get their footing, they get more comfortable being on camera, and then all the realness comes in.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why, like, I never was necessarily shitting on this new iteration in the first place. Like, I wasn't like, I watched 5 episodes and it sucks and I turned it off, because it's a first season on a reality show is always hard for them to kind of figure out what the identity is, and it takes a while. So they are going to get the second season, which helps a lot, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. These shows kind of hit their stride in like the 3rd, 4th seasons.
Totally.
All right, that wraps up the Pop Corner. Keep calling in with your hot takes, your voicemails, and your opinions. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola now comes in 2 flavors. In my hand, I have the original cola. We also have the cherry vanilla in studio, and both are so delicious. It's nice to just sit back with your lunch or dinner and crack open a prebiotic soda. You're sitting on the couch, you're at your dinner table. It tastes so good, and it has that great Pepsi taste that we all know and love, but now with even more to love, with no artificial sweeteners, only 5 grams of sugar, just 30 calories, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. So this is Pepsi's Prebiotic Cola, and it is unbelievably Pepsi. Like I said, I have the original cola flavor in my hand right now. We also have the cherry vanilla in studio. That might be my favorite. It's absolutely delicious. And right now, you can try it. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola is available now. So get out there and try it today. All right, everyone, we are here with a very special guest. We are joined by the iconic Lisa fucking Rinna. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hey, listen, I couldn't get to New York, but here we are. We made it work.
Yes,
Exactly.
we did. We are so excited. We're going to talk about your new memoir, You Better Believe. I'm going to talk about it. And on top of that, you know that we have to talk about one of our favorite traitors of all time for this season. So we are so excited.
We are so excited to talk about Traitors always.
Well, the book is out now for everybody listening. So you can get your copy, listen to it, read it, however you like to consume your books. But this is not your first book. And I wonder what brought you to wanting to write another book.
I did not want to write another book. But my people said, you know what? I think another book would be great for you. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need to write another book. And so then they kind of kept calling. And I said, okay, listen, because I don't write my own book. I'm not even going to pretend that I do. I said, let me meet 3 ghostwriters, 3 of them. And if I connect with one, I'll do it. If I don't, I won't do it. So they had me meet with 3 ghostwriters, and I love this Dibs. Dibs just seemed to get me. She was a fan, got my voice, and I had the best time writing this book with Dibs. So it turned out great.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part, right? Is if you're not going to write it on your own, which love your honesty, which you always are, and especially in this memoir as well, is that you want someone who's going to replicate your voice in what you would sound like.
Yeah, and that is the hardest thing, I think. And, you know, luckily Dibs knew my career. And that, I think, is really the most important thing. And knew enough about me that they weren't like trying to catch up along the way. They just knew. So it was an enjoyable experience, even though it was very, you know, tough at times and sad and challenging and cathartic. I'm really glad that I got to do it with Dibs. So it was a good experience.
And I feel like you can absolutely hear your voice when reading it. I think when I was reading it, I was like, oh, this, I would have never known. It's it totally sounds like it's coming right out of your mouth. There's some amazing stories in here from, you know, life before Housewives, after Housewives, being a mom, your relationship with Harry, and just like so many great life lessons, I think. Yeah. And at the end of the day, just being yourself is such a strong message that I think you have stuck to always, no matter what, through everything you've been doing. It's like, you got it. And, you know, own it, baby. You got to own it and you got to be yourself. And I think that's been so great. Was there anything that you maybe were a little hesitant to share in this book, or you said, I'm sharing all the stories?
No, listen, I mean, it's really vulnerable to share a lot of this because, you know it's like hot button items. They're hot button items. And to talk about that sort of thing makes you very vulnerable because you know that it's going to be talked about and printed and put out there. And, you know, I knew that that was going to be the case, but I also knew that, you know, if I was going to write a book, I had to walk the walk and talk the talk and go there. So there you go. I had to live up to my own words.
Exactly. And going back to Fran's point about, just owning it, being yourself, we've seen that from you for so long. You've been working in the industry for what feels like forever now. Who was Lisa Rinna like growing up? Like, did you always have that strong sense of self when you were a kid?
No, I mean, I did and I didn't. I grew up an only child. So as an only child, you get all the attention. And so that was a great moment for me as a child. I really was able to like be myself and free. And I think as you get older and as you become a teenager, I became much more self-conscious, and I was teased a lot in school, and I pulled back a bit. So by the time I met Harry, I was not the girl that you know today. I was very subdued. I know it's hard to imagine. But I tell a story in the book about us going to, I think we were in Tahiti. And, we were like, I was posing for pictures before cell phones, obviously. He's got a camera. And I was just standing there with like my arms to my side. And he goes, can't you do something? Like go like this, or like do something. Imagine. And so I did. And well, he unleashed the monster. Harry Hamlin unleashed and said, girl, you are amazing. You got to like celebrate yourself. And so I did. And I have ever since.
Yeah, we love it. I feel like, seeing you and Harry's relationship just goes to show how much you guys support each other all the time. And hearing that story just from the beginning of like what he sees in you, and even Harry talking about like, Housewives you is not you, right?
Exactly.
Like it's a play on everyone around you, sort of.
Yeah, because, when you're on Housewives, you are in reaction mode most of the time. You are reacting to what is coming at you. And in life, you don't have to live like that most of the time. You don't have things coming at you from all angles. I mean, yes, we deal with a lot of things in life, but I don't feel like that is normal in life, having just things coming at you constantly. And on a show like Housewives, it is that. So I think we saw me in kind of a survival mode on Housewives. You're just surviving and trying to get through what is being thrown at you.
Yeah, I think you definitely share some insight to the making of the show, right? Perhaps a little producer involvement and sharing some tidbits here or there, which all feels like the truth to us, right? But you rarely get somebody to admit that that's how the show works.
Yeah.
Is it something that made you a little hesitant to share, or did you kind of say, I don't really care what they think about me sharing this?
I mean, I think the shows have been around long enough to where it's okay to share it. I think the audience is savvy now. Maybe, 15 years ago, I wouldn't have been so honest about it, but I think the audience is really savvy and they already know what I'm saying. So it's not like I'm speaking out of school.
Yeah, that is true. When reality TV first started becoming a huge thing, I think everyone just bought into it immediately. And we were like, oh my gosh, this all must be happening. But now with social media, we learn so much. There's more people who speak up about what's happening behind the scenes. There's more breaking the fourth wall, which honestly just gets more people involved anyway. And we still eat it up every single time.
I mean, I don't think it's going to change anything. I think you're like, oh, well, duh. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's how that game works.
Isn't it funny that even with the more knowledge that we learn about reality TV and producer involvement, that people still have the same reactions to the way people are portrayed on reality TV? Like it's hard for people to take a step back and go, oh, wait, maybe there's some involvement here.
Yeah. Or just how the whole thing works, that maybe you're only seeing a quarter of who somebody really is, not the full picture of a human being, which, that's why it's always interesting when people get put into these molds, like you're a villain, you're this, you're that. I mean, it's because you're really only seeing, one part of a person in that season, and so then you decide, okay, they're this, they're that. And that's always a weird part of that game, I think.
And it can so quickly change season after season.
And it usually does change season after season.
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen it all over the internet because everyone has been loving seeing you back on TV, loving watching you on Traitors. They're obsessed with it. And it's funny because everybody's thought process kind of goes back around. It's like, oh my God, now we miss her. Can she come back to Beverly Hills? Like now everybody wants you back on the show. How do you feel about that?
It is funny to me because I'm no different than I was, I just showed you myself as playing Traitors rather than being a housewife. And, the irony is that I think my husband says this because I always say, oh my God, I've been so hated for so many years. He was like, they never hated you. They always loved you. They just had a spin on it. But now they love you again because they never stopped loving you. So, whatever. I think it's funny. I think that, when I was doing Traitors, I knew that the audience would get to see me for who I am because that's who I was there. And I was excited about that.
Now, going back to Traitors, it had been a little bit since seeing you on TV. What was that decision like for you? Because I saw that you said it took a little bit for you to agree to do Traitors.
It did. I was asked in September and I did not make a decision till February. And they were like, tick tock, we need a decision now. And I just didn't know. I really liked watching it, but I just didn't know if I wanted to do it. It's one thing to watch it, another thing to do it. So I talked to our dear friends, one of their daughters, who is the same age as my girls and grew up with the girls and, best friends for life. They lived down the street. And I knew she was a massive, massive Traitors fan. So I called her and I said, can I come down and just have you tell me why I should do this show? Because I don't see it. And so I went down, had a glass of wine. And by the time we were done, I called everybody and said, okay, I'll do it.
Honestly,
so a 27-year-old convinced me to do it.
And we are so thankful for her because
Sydney Bacco is the one and the reason why I did Traitors.
That is amazing. And we are so thankful because, like we mentioned earlier, you are one of our favorite Traitors we've ever watched on this show.
So
everything
good.
was
I love to hear that. I love to hear that.
Entertaining.
It's the first time we were like, this is a group of Traitors that we're rooting for. Because normally you pull for the faithfuls. You're like, we hope they get them. But we were like, no, this year we're hoping the Traitors can do it, which is why it was sad to watch, it kind of crumble the way it did. But I want to know your initial reaction to being a Traitor. Did you go into the show wanting to be a Traitor or a faithful?
I wanted to be a Traitor because I thought, listen, if you're going to do this show, you might as well get the most camera time, right? That's how my brain works. And it's more fun to be the villain and the trade. Like I knew that's what I would want to do. But of course you can't control it. You don't know. I thought it was probably too obvious for them to make me a Traitor. So I didn't really expect it. I thought, it could happen, but probably not. And then once it did, wow, was I like, oh my God, holy shit. Now I got to do it,
But you're right. It is something where if you're going to be on the show, you want to be on the show. And that's what we get. And I love that they kept it not gamers right away as Traitors, because that has been a trend we've seen on the show. And then the gamers kind of took each other out fairly early. And you guys were smart because you took the gamers out pretty early. Was that a strategy on your part to be like, you know what, some of these people, I'm sure they'd be good. Let's get the gamers out first?
Yeah, I mean, it's moment by moment and you see how people are behaving and you see and you learn, like, of course, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know the gamers. I just knew that anybody that won Survivor would be a badass and anybody from Big Brother that won would be a badass and they would be dangerous. And so the more you kind of watched, you picked off the people that, were the biggest threats. Obviously, if someone said your name, they had to go. And I think we did that really well until Rob, came for me, basically. Colton/Rob coming for me.
Yeah. Listen, there's so much conversation around all of that. We're going to dive into it. Now, initially watching you, Rob, and Candace get in there, and it's like, oh, the girls are gossiping and they're chatting. Everyone's so excited. And then it just went downhill so fast. And people were onto you. The speculation began quickly, seemingly so, watching. And immediately as viewers, we're like, oh, no. Lisa, she's going down. We're about to watch her go down. How did it feel in the castle, before you got banished? Did the speculation feel as high as it did watching it?
It never feels as high as watching it because you don't know what's going on in the other rooms. You're kind of naively blissful because you don't really know. I knew Colton was on to me, but I certainly didn't know, especially that second night that Rob was driving the vote. I had no idea because people would say to you, yeah, I'm going to go for Natalie too. When in their minds, they're like, no, I'm actually going for you, Lisa. So you don't know that. Once Colton was on to me, I knew that was a problem because he's such a dog with a bone. He's never going to drop it. And then once I was saved by only one vote, Mark Ballas is the one who didn't end up voting for me, and that saved me. Once that happens, that your days are numbered. And then literally when Jam yelled my name, it was over. I knew it. I knew that's not how I had killed him, but the conviction he had as he's screaming my name, as he's being dragged out, I knew I was fucked. So, I didn't fight that hard because what are you fighting? I'm not going to be a screaming maniac when I absolutely know there's not much I can do. That's why, I don't fight that hard at the table. There's more that I say that you don't end up seeing, but that's, how that show goes. But I am so thrilled with everything. I wouldn't change it. I could have lasted one more episode if they'd gone down the road with Natalie, because Natalie was going that time. And if Rob had gone there, I could have gone one more episode, but that's it. Once Jam said my name, there was no stopping it.
When it comes to a game like this, it's always the what ifs. What if I did that? What if I did this? If I would have just fought a little bit more? That's always the way it goes for everybody on the show who loses, right? Besides the winner. When it came down to wearing the amulet, were you kind of pissed that it fell on you? Did you think maybe Rob or Candace should have wore it?
No, because I'm the one that said, I want to wear it. I knew that I was putting myself in that position, but I also knew that it would be totally iconic and great television, and it would look better on my dress than anything. And I was willing to take that risk because I'm here to make iconic television. And, that's what I did. So I could have absolutely had Rob wear it or Candace, but that's not who I am. I am there to deliver, honey. And I did.
As you did. And Jam going out screaming your name will live on forever.
And what an iconic moment that I kill him with the amulet. He screams my name that I've kissed him. You kind of can't write a better scene. So I was never sad about it. I was just like, this is so iconic. Great.
It's so true. And it's honestly what makes this show so great. And we were talking to Mark about this. And because I was kind of saying, you need the gamers, but you also need the traditional reality TV people who just know how to make good reality TV. Mark's so great. But Mark wants to play a game. He's like, this is a game and less make good TV. So you need people who also come in and know how to make good TV. One of those things is the housewives. And there's been a thing on Traitors where they've said, housewives don't go after housewives. It's like an unwritten rule. What did you think about that going into the show?
I didn't know about it going into the show, actually. I just found out about it as I was there. Because, I haven't been a housewife for 3 years. I don't think of myself as a housewife anymore. So I didn't even know about that until it started kind of a rumble of those are gamers. There's 5 gamers and there's 5 housewives. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm linked into a group. But I never thought that I had to be loyal to them. I'm a traitor. I'm not loyal to anybody. So I didn't really obviously sign up for that because I didn't do it at all.
Right. And sometimes hitching yourself to a group is where you go down, like if you just,
I mean, I don't hitch myself to any group. So why would I hitch myself to a group here on Traitors? Do you know what I mean? They like other housewives wanted that, but that's on them. They can do that if they want. But Dorinda voted for a housewife. I voted for a housewife. I killed a housewife in plain sight, which was so fun. I mean, it's a game. Come on. If you can't go there, like, I don't agree with that. You have to stand by anybody because that's why I've never been mad at Rob. Rob's playing a brilliant game. He's a traitor. At the end of the day, yeah, it would have been really fun to kumbaya and go to the end because I think we could have actually. I think we might have been able, or at least two of them, go to the end. But the truth is, it's called Traitors and it's a game. So if you are mad about it, well, then you shouldn't have played the game.
Yeah, I mean, we totally agree with that standpoint as well. I mean, watching it, obviously, we were rooting for you to stick around. But when we saw Rob, go against you, we were like, he's got to do what he's got to do to stay in this game. And that's how you play.
Yeah,
and
I was just sinking ship. I mean, I don't blame him for not wanting to go down with the sinking ship. But I mean, I was the most fabulous sinking ship ever.
Of course.
Did you think that, I know you say everyone's playing a game, it's so fine, but we've seen Candace kind of talk about Rob a little bit, and she certainly seems to have her feelings towards him, and definitely doesn't seem like the biggest fan. Have you and Candace talked about how that went down? Do you think it's like Candace, Rob was doing what he had to do?
We have not discussed it because, we go off at different times and then you go off in your life, and we actually have not discussed it. I obviously have seen how she feels and what has gone down, but we have not discussed it.
I think it's about time to crack this bad boy open. It's a Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Delicious. Comes in the original cola flavor, but also the cherry vanilla. I have the cherry vanilla. It is so delicious because it has that great Pepsi taste, but now with even more to love because it has no artificial sweeteners, 30 calories, 3 grams of prebiotic fiber, and only 5 grams of sugar, and it tastes delicious. It is 100% unbelievably Pepsi, which is really just I'm going to take a little sip. Oh, yeah. It hits a spot. I was saying I've been really craving soda recently, and now that Pepsi has the prebiotic cola, it's just perfection. I think after a long day in the office, you get home, maybe you want to throw on a movie, watch your new favorite TV show, enjoy a little snack and a soda. Well, the prebiotic cola is what you should be reaching for. You can try the Pepsi Prebiotic Cola now. It's available now, so go try it today.
Can we get a little tease about maybe the reunion on what's to come there? We saw some, social media activity. We saw things go down between you and Colton on the show. Obviously, we were rooting for you. Can you tease a little bit if anything happened there?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm used to reunions, right? But this kind of reunion is different. I walk in and I'm literally in the hot seat next to Andy, and I'm thinking, wait, why am I in the hot seat? I don't even go the whole way. Why am I sitting next to Andy? And then I settled down. I was like, all right, whatever. So people talk about things that need to be worked out at a reunion, right? Like it's about moving through stuff. It's about having a moment to be able to ask somebody a question that you never got to ask. And Colton was my nemesis throughout. He knows it. I know it. We laughed about it, whatever. So I wasn't about to let this moment go by without asking pertinent questions, right? Whatever somebody feels about that, that's their own thing. My job was to ask questions and figure things out. And I did. I
think that's fair. I mean, we saw some of the things that he said in his confessionals that all of us raised our eyebrows at as well. So I think fair play to ask in accordance to the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not talking about personal life. I asked him, a question about how he chose to come after me and play this game as a traitor. We all saw what he did. We all saw him try to lure me in as, I'll protect you if you protect me. So I don't think I did anything wrong at that reunion. I think that I did everything that you need to do at a reunion. And I just hope that they air it, because not airing it, I think will make everyone really mad. Because, we can't control what they air.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely. And I agree, because I do think as viewers, we all have those questions too. We've seen you joking about that, Colton has unfollowed you on Instagram.
Well, I mean, I don't know that, other than somebody actually said, "Did you know Colton unfollowed you?" I said, "Uh-oh, I must have pissed him off." I mean, that's all I can say. I don't know, but to unfollow somebody after you just followed them recently, I guess I must have done something.
Do you still follow him, or did you ever follow him?
I do. I follow everybody. I followed everybody because, I love that cast. I love everybody. So I think most of us followed each other. Not everybody, but I follow everyone. Yes.
You got to be back in the hot seat, like you said, for a reunion. I'm curious how you felt just being reunited with Andy in that way. Did you guys talk about it before you sat down at all? Did he visit you in your dressing room beforehand, or was it the reunion right there on stage for you guys as well?
Listen, I've seen Andy off and on. I see him and talk to him quite often. So I just hadn't been in a reunion situation with him for almost 4 years. But, Andy and I always have, I think, great respect for one another, even if there are times where I've pissed him off and he's pissed me off, or, whatever. It felt like home in a way, in a weird, toxic way.
Yep. We loved watching your videos after each episode, your recaps, your takes. One of the videos specifically, you talked about not being fazed by Rob's good looks because of Harry Hamlin, which is hilarious, because that has been a big topic of conversation right now. How did you feel about Dorinda basically going on and being like, it was an honor to be murdered by Rob?
Because it doesn't surprise me at all. I saw everybody and how they reacted to Rob. They could not look at him for longer than 1 second. So if you can't look at somebody in the eye and be with them, there is no way you're going to even be able to figure out, are they a faithful? Are they a traitor? You don't even care, because you're so everyone, male, female, dog. It doesn't matter who or what you are. Everybody was so taken by Rob that I watched it. And I was fascinated by it. And I went up to Rob the first night because he was kind of aloof and, sitting back. And I thought, I want to figure this guy out. What's he about? Because I didn't know him at all. And so I started talking to him right out of the gate. So I felt comfortable with him before we were even Traitors, because I'd had a conversation with him and we kind of got to know each other a little bit. So I think I'm really the only one that was able to, I don't know if anyone else could have sat there and played chess with him and done what I did in that moment where we killed Ron C. I was just, I appreciate his gorgeousness. I appreciate all of it, but I'm able to sit in it and deal with him where most people, none of them can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You've been around it.
I've been around it a long time. The girls bring their, super gorgeous boyfriends around. The girl, everybody around is gorgeous. So it doesn't, it's just oh, there's another gorgeous guy.
Yeah, it is true. And I think, and I'm sure you've been watching it all happen, but it's been pretty funny watching Maura just really just not suspect Rob at all. She would really die for him at this point, it seems. And I know you guys have gotten close, and I saw she was celebrating your book launch with you and all these things. Is it something that you guys can laugh at now that you poke fun at her a little bit, that you're like, man, you really trusted him?
Oh, honey, I poke fun at everyone. The ones that can take it are great. The ones that can't, it's a shame. Maura is somebody that can take it like no one's business. We laugh so hard. She's one of my favorites. I love her so much. She has a great sense of humor about it all and totally gets it. And we laugh and make fun of each other constantly, I would say.
Yeah, she's got that good old, like, that Irish humor, you know, like she can really take the piss, as they say. So, and
absolutely.
And she really does. I loved seeing that event. It looked like it was so beautiful, and you did have some of your fellow housewives there as well. What kind of relationships have you tried to keep with those girls now that you've been off the show?
You know, it's always hard when you don't work every day with somebody, like all the different shows, whether it's Days of Our Lives, Melrose Place. You know, you don't unfortunately get to see the people as much as you did when you were working with them. But I really tried to keep my relationships with some of the women on Housewives because we're trauma bonded. You know, we have history together that no one will ever understand. And I truly, you know, I love Teddy Mellencamp. I love Erica Jane. I love Dorit Kemsley. You know, I feel very close to these women, and we really try to stay in touch as much as possible.
Do you still watch the show at all, or no?
I have not watched the show since the day I left. Yeah, I think that
yes.
when you leave this world, you either can stay super involved in it, or you have to blank it all out. And my way was to mute it all and move forward. And that's what worked for me.
I feel like that is very fair. It's kind of like, if you're going to leave it, you got to sort of leave it all behind.
Yeah, you almost have to go to like rehab and get it out of your body, you know? No, truly, it's like heroin.
Yeah. Yep. I want to talk about some of your previous acting roles. You know, early on, one of my favorites was when you're on Entourage. It always brings a smile to my face when I rewatch and I see you on that show. Do you have a favorite, you know, guest spot that you've done?
Well, that's one of them. That was such a joy. I loved Veronica Mars. You know, the couple episodes I did there, amazing. Like, I've really gotten to do some quality. It was fun to do The Middle. That was really fun to do Community. I've had some great moments. I really have. Like, just, I forget some of them, and then someone will remind me and be like, oh my God, that's right, I did that.
It is. It's so incredible to watch. And I feel like there's just going to be more and more of those moments now as they come, because not only have you taken over Traitors, but the last few years, you are fashion icon, Lisa Rinna. You're walking in shows. It's couture. It's incredible what you have gotten to do. Have you had a sort of pinch me fashion moment in the last couple of years that you can share with us?
How about all of them? I mean, every single moment in the past 3 years has been a pinch me moment, because I just didn't have that on my bingo card. You know, I love fashion. I always have, but to actually like be in it and going to these shows and being dressed by these designers and then walking in a show, like, all of it is so crazy. And I just love it. It's so fun, because then I also get to have these moments with my daughters, and we travel together, and I'll go see a show with Amelia in it. And then I'll also go do my own, so that I keep my distance with her so that she can have her own time. I go have my own time. So far, so good. So far, it works.
And I bet you have some amazing outfits sitting in that closet of yours that you're in now.
Well, as I'm sitting in my closet doing this, I mean, I've been so fortunate. I mean, this is like everything I bought while I was on Housewives. Like, you spend all your money. Like, everybody just spends all their money, like, trying to dress themselves for Housewives. So I got a lot of really good shit from that time. But now it's like, you know, these designers they loan you these couture outfits, because, you know, you would only wear them once, you wouldn't keep them. But I think, as you know, during the 90s, nobody would loan you anything, so you bought everything. So I have got like such a great archival 90s fashion moments going on. It's crazy. I have some really good stuff.
Do your girls just like die to go through it all? Because especially now, it feels like the 90s are so back in terms of fashion that if I were your girls, I'd be like, Mama, where's the coat closet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's funny when it's your own children, they're kind of like, ew, you know, ew, it's my mom's. I don't know if I want to wear it. Ew, like, ew. And then I'm like, well, but wait a minute. It's literally Tom Ford Gucci 1996. Maybe you want to just think about that for a second and get me out of it and just go take a peek at that, because it is fucking iconic. So like get it together.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then they take a second look and they're like, actually, on that note, Mom, I'm stealing it and probably never returning it.
Yeah. I mean, I will find shoes at Delilah's house and boots and bags that I didn't know, or sunglasses they're big on accessories. I can't find those, but you know what they steal from me? This is what really goes. Underwear, bras, and socks. I literally have to go and buy, and I think it's cute that they like my underwear that I buy and my socks, but they steal them all. And I have to constantly buy new tank tops, new t-shirts, new underwear, and new socks. And that's
so funny. That's like an honor though. You're like, well, they think my intimates are cute.
I guess. I mean,
it's so funny because it's just also something you always put off buying those items for yourself. So it's like, they're like, oh, new socks and underwear. I'll just go take Mom's.
I'll just go to Mom's. Exactly. So I buy new stuff all the time. And I finally said to Harry, Harry, do you know how much I'm spending on underwear, socks, and bras because our children steal them? And he looked at me like, what? And he walked out of the room, and that was that. So listen, if that's all, I get a kick out of it. Come on.
What kind of advice do you give your girls being in the industry?
Gosh, I try not to give too much advice unless asked. I try to live my life by example, because listen, do you really want your mom to tell you what to do? No, but by example, they can see how I go through that world. They can see how Harry goes through that world. And that's how they learn the most. And then if there's an issue and they come to us, we can discuss it. And so I think it's by example. I think it's by living the way that we live that they've really figured out. And of course, we drilled in them the most important thing is kindness. And, anything else, not okay. Like that's number one. And professionalism and being on time. So,
right. If you want to have a long lasting career, all the kindness and professionalism is also important.
Yeah. So they know all of that. And they know that I would literally kill them or grab them by the ear if I heard through the grapevine that they were being shitty little bitches.
Yeah. No more underwear and socks for them.
Yeah. I loved the chapter in the book where you're talking about them. And I was laughing out loud at the Vanity Fair Matt Damon story of you saying, he held this Oscar up to my pregnant belly. She had no choice. She's going to be famous. It was part of it. You acknowledge it. Did you ever think did you always kind of think they'd do something in the industry?
I mean, you never know, but that's the family business. I mean, it's our family business. That was not my family business. My mom didn't work and my dad was an art director. So I think that, I'm not surprised when you turn out that gorgeous and you're that talented. If you don't do something with it, that would be a crime. So they're smart.
So true. And that Definitely. They are absolutely stunning. As we wrap up, for the people who have not read the book yet, haven't had the honor and privilege like we have, is there anything that you want to tease that you think is just an absolute must for people to get their hands on this?
Well, I think that people will be surprised because there's so many different things that I cover. It's not like a housewife tell-all, even though I cover that time in my life. But I think there's so much about, if you're a Days of Our Lives fan, you're going to get great tidbits there. If you're a Melrose Place fan, you're going to get great tidbits there and things that I've never talked about and things that people don't know about me. So I think that's great. If you want some relationship stuff, motherhood stuff, hormone replacement, I cover a lot of shit in this book. I really do. So I think it's a quick read. I think it's a fun read. The best thing about it was Harry read it in an afternoon and he said, your voice is all over that book. It totally came through. And I thought that was a big win that my own husband was like, and he thinks it's just a great book. He loved it. So I think that I was most worried about him reading it because, it's like a snapshot of our life in the last 36 years or 33 or however long we've been together. I've lost track. But you know what I mean? He said he cried a lot during reading it. And it's just a really great moment to have when your husband says, you know what, you did good. You fucking nailed it. So I'm very pleased about that.
Well, and it's perfect timing too, going along with Traitors and people just wanting more from you and just craving more from you. And here you are giving it to them.
We really lucked out because this book was supposed to come out in October. And they pushed it because I guess from COVID, so many titles had been pushed forward.
Right.
They said, how would you feel about pushing it? And I was like, I don't care. And then look, it could not have been more perfect.
Perfect. It really couldn't, because you get such a good insight on you. And I love what you share about your mom. I know us viewers of Beverly Hills got to see so many amazing moments with Lois, and she was such a star on the show. And hearing you like talk about her through the book is so fantastic because, like you said, we got to see little pieces on the show, but really reading your experience through all that is it gives us so much background information on, what you were going through after she passed and things that weren't at the forefront of like what was being discussed on the show, but you had to deal with it. Like having that happen and then immediately having to go film and go on these trips. It's just, it's pretty crazy. So I think you get some really great insight into all that was going on. And the last thing I want to say too is about the way you talk about Harry. And I think so many women can learn from it is that you guys have been married for so long, but you still have so much admiration for each other. You joke around with each other, you can poke fun, but at the end of the day, you're like, that's my man. That's Harry Hamlin. And I love that because I love it. I think that sometimes couples can lose that.
They can, and they can start to devalue one another very quickly. And it's the trap that most couples can get into. And I think that we just really have to fight against that and lean into the area of how much you adore this person and always wanting to cheerlead for them. I think that it's like being a parent almost, like that's how you'd be with your kid, right? Like you would never want to devalue them. So I think you have to think of that in your relationship because it's so easy to be like, oh, I fucking hate my husband. I mean, so many of my girlfriends are like, I hate my husband. I'm like, no, you have to figure that out. You can't hate him. You have to figure out what do you still like about him?
Right. Yeah. And it's like you're with this person for a reason. You should be champion, should be a cheerleader for them. Like all these things, like pumping them up. That's what you have each other for. So I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, I'm hoping that that's a good thing for people to see and go, you know what? I need to be more supportive of my spouse or whatever, because that's what I think we're here for.
Totally. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy we got to talk to you. Hopefully we do get to do it in person sometime soon because we would love to have you in New York.
As soon as the weather allows us.
Exactly. Because, hey, once we get this reunion, hopefully we have even more to talk about. But we can all watch how Traitors comes out. And, of course, your new book, You Better Believe I'm going to talk about it, is out everywhere now. Like I said, read it, listen to it. However you consume your books, I'm sure you can get it on there. So, Lisa, thank you so much.
Thank you, girls. So nice to meet you and talk to you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Mwah.
All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Reminder, tour starts next week. We want to see you there. We hope to have an amazing weekend. We'll miss you guys. We know that you'll miss hearing from us on Friday, but we will be back with a new episode on Monday. Love you guys.
Yeah, Chicks in the Office. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Look at the charts, who does it the best? Two chicks getting paid in reality checks. You can find them at the gym, it's not even